this. It just depends on how you want to go about achieving it.
This could mean a lot of things, but in my opinion, this suggests that
see if this
D&D
is a little better.
away from expensive video game projects and refocusing on mastering making money off of the existing tabletop game. And who better to monetize than the people who create their own content better than them? This takes us to the open game license. For those who
I think, you know, one way they could do this is just make more frequent changes to you know, like the character shit, right? Like rebalance things more regularly. But that probably takes a lot of work. So yeah, they'll probably just try to claim other people's stuff and take the money from them.
Don't know, any Dungeons and Dragons content that is created by anyone other than Wizards can only do so because of the open game license, a document that effectively allows people to create and profit off of their own original Dungeons and Dragons content. No paperwork needed, no need to pay anyone royalties, just go for it. That is about to change big time. What we know for sure.
It's annoying to see that because, like, I feel like if you look at this contextually, like Dungeons and Dragons, how much of Dungeons and Dragons came from Tolkien? Like, I don't know, half? Like 2/3, something like that. So it's annoying whenever you see something that's like so fucking derivative of somebody else's work.
I'm getting fucked up.
Now you're like, oh, well, you know, nobody can do the same thing to us.
Sure. Just before the end of the year, they released a blog statement.
Oh, it's because I don't have my armor buff on.
Coming very soon in 2023, they stated that any creator has to abide by these rules. One, if you make more than $50K a year off of what you create, you have to report your revenue annually to them. 2, include a creator product badge on your work. And 3, accept the license terms and let them know what you're offering for sale. They also added that if you create content and it makes $750,000 within the span of 1 year,
let me change it. He said, "Never mind, I got it." Oh, I got it.
I literally just started Discord. Anyway.
You will have to pay royalties on that. This change has caused a huge rift in the community.
Now, I know what somebody's going to say. They're going to be like, oh, man. Oh, I'm so sorry. You made $800,000 a year, and now you have to pay the people that you're making the money off of them. You have to pay them a royalty. Like, I know what you're going to say, but the truth is that most of the people that are making that much money have a staff team. Like, for example, Critical Role. Think about Critical Role. Think about how many people work on that team. How many people there are that are involved with that. You know, you have the people that do catering. You have the people that do lighting, the people that do set design, the people that are actually on camera, the people that use the cameras, the people that edit the cameras, the people that run the social media. There is a massive fucking machine behind them. So whenever you disperse that big amount of money among that many people, that's whenever it doesn't seem that big after all. I remember Linus Tech Tips actually talked about this exact same thing about 3 or 4 days ago whenever he was showing how much money he made on YouTube.
Many say that these changes are all completely reasonable, while another huge group of people are saying that this is all either terrible right now.
It's not like one dude's making this much money. Sometimes that happens, but it's like, that's like, you know, it's like super uncommon.
A slippery slope to something much worse.
Mm-hmm.
If the leak that we're about to read is to be believed, then the people who believe the worst from Dungeons and Dragons are absolutely correct. Yesterday, January 4th, a journalist named Linda Codega stated that she received the new OGL from a reputable, unnamed source, and it's a lot to take in. What's written in here is genuinely community killing. She writes that the updated open game license is incredibly restrictive, demands community surveillance, and most importantly, renders the previous open game license an unauthorized agreement. I will also clarify that this is all unconfirmed, and while I will show you signs that I believe point to it being true, they still remain unconfirmed.
It's like, so this is kind of what the problem is like, you know how whenever Warcraft tried to make money and like royalties out of the games that they made, people would make in
Finally.
3 Reforged, because
at least now I know they drop them.
And then the entire scene pretty much fucking died. That's what I think the problem with this is that if people don't have their own autonomy to make decisions the way they want, and it's the same with, like, for example, you know how Nintendo had that program on YouTube where you would have like a revenue sharing thing with Nintendo, and they had like more oversight on the way that you made videos about their games? Well, guess what? A lot less people made videos about their games, and it was bad for the product. It was bad for the environment. Now, my opinion about this, as I've said many times, is that I think intellectual property right laws in America are way too overreaching. I think they are not in the benefit of the public, which laws are supposed to be beneficial towards. I think they are way too constraining, way too restrictive, and way too much on the side of these multi-billion-dollar corporations. The fact that you can buy something and then not own it, fuck that. That's bullshit. I don't care if like what the logic or the rationality is behind it. This is not good for the average person, and I think this is the same case. Not a fan. Stifles innovation. It does.
Confirmed and should not be treated as fact. Let's rip off the band-aid. First off, if this is to be believed, just to let you know how much of a big deal this is, the current OGL is just less than 900 words. Which,
yeah, that's got over 9,000 for the new one. One person says you compares to Warcraft 3 custom mods. Remember those?
Hey, how's it going, Ren?
As are mods and games, third-party content for D&D is being sold as if it was an independent game. Yeah, I don't really think that's a big deal. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. That's really like I get what you're saying. I just don't think it's a big deal. Like if people had paid mods,
I'm tempted to get some of my guild members over here,
has like Patreon,
and we can just have them do both of these quests.
I don't care. It's the same as like on Twitch, on YouTube, anything like that. Like the only reason I have like a official YouTube channel now is because YouTube made me do that. Before that, I said people can monetize my video, make as much money out of it as you want. That's fine to me. I don't think it's a problem.
Which is pretty short for a legal document. Basically just enough to say, go do what you want.
Let me see who I have on right now.
The new OGL 1.1, as they call it, is over 9,000 words, which means they are adding a lot. Also, we finally have a set number for the royalties you owe. You will owe 25% on any money that you make that exceeds 750k.
That's a tremendous
The leak also says that if you release on...
If I got 4 bots in my party, we could wreck shop in this area.
Which sounds strange, but the director of games at Kickstarter, John Ritter, retweeted the thread with the leak and said that Kickstarter was contacted after Wizards decided to make OGL changes. So Kickstarter managed to get a lower percent plus more being discussed for people releasing D&D content.
W for John.
In my opinion, this gives the rest of the leak a bit more credibility.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go back there and I'm gonna go get them.
At least
because this drop rate is insane.
Part of the leak is much more than just he said, she said, hearsay.
You've got to keep in mind, like it's 20%, 25%, and then like you have on top of that another probably 30%. Well, it would be more than that because it'd be $750,000. So like it would be taxed at a rate of about 37 to 39%, depending on like what you're what you can write off. Probably 35 at the minimum. So like it's not 1 bite, it's 2 bites.
Given that someone who can speak on the subject with authority is only affirming this part of the leak. This OGL is in fact pointing its barrel at you, the creator. They state that the original OGL was not intended to subsidize major competitors, and they have a lot of competition in the form of their own community. Some people say that this spells a dark future for games like Pathfinder, but personally, I do not think that any other independent RPG.
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just playing some WoW with some bots. They should automatically make their way over here. I gotta sell stuff anyway. My bags are getting pretty full. I could just do fishing while I'm waiting too. Yes, this is my vanilla character. I got my BC Paladin to 50. And I'm basically just going to leapfrog my characters in each version of the game. I'm going to get this one up to 55. Then I'm going to switch back to Burning Crusade and get my Paladin to 60. And then I'm going to go to Wrath, and I'm actually going to level a Death Knight. And I'll level him to 65. And at that point... Yeah, 65. And then I will come back to vanilla and level my mage to 60 and do as much endgame content as possible. I really want to break it into because I know some of the raids aren't 100% doable in this. So 47. He will wreck my sphincter. Nope. Nope. Not catching me. So that's another reason I need my guild here. I'm gonna wait for him at the flight path. Those dots almost killed me from 100% health. I'm pretty sure it was that. Is he making his way over here? I can't tell if he's walking or what. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know I was bad at this game until I started playing against these bots. they shit on me. They can be like 3-4 levels below me and just shit on my face. And it sucks. But you know what? I never claimed to be good at WoW. I'm very much a casual WoW player, which is why I like playing with bots. So that's fine. But knowing that the bots are that good at PvP gives me high hopes once I finally start taking them raiding, because I've raided with bot cores or other server cores, and the bots, they were okay. Could have been better. I'm really looking forward to finally raiding with these ones, though. Especially on the vanilla core, because I think the vanilla core so far has the best bots. I got some guild members right over here. What level is he? 48? Nah, you're over a level. I'm not taking you. Yes, this is a single player server running. I have 3 hard drives. I have one NVMe 2 SSD that has my operating system, and another SSD that's running the game. The other hard drive is just like a 2 terabyte hybrid hard drive. I don't really run much off of that. It's mostly storage. There's a lot of bots here. How many are online right now? Out of curiosity. Oh, it's maxed out. It's 3,500. So about to summon these bots, because they're taking forever. They do eventually work their way to you. Like this one, I guess he's opting to fly down. They like to get stuck in Undercity too. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and summon them. And we're going to be on our merry way here. Oh, wait a minute. You're not in a guild. Perhaps you'd like to be in one. Yes. Okay. Did he get a guild title? Or is that just a title in general? What the hell is that? Can I inspect them? Oh, this dude's got 65 kills lifetime. How many do I have? Probably not shit. Or no, I'm a grunt too. Can I choose to like display my rank or something? I don't know. Anyway, do I have everybody here? Somebody's probably on a flight path, which is why they haven't shown up yet. Yeah. I'll just GM command them over here. Oh, he's a scout. This is new. They weren't doing this before. It's kind of cool, actually. How many kills does he have? 52? Oh, he's garbage. Or no, it's the same guy, I think. I don't know. Yeah, he only has 52. This one. What's it called again? SPP Classics V2. It's the best one by far. The fact that they're always updating it and it just gets better and better. There are some occasions with like the Burning Crusade core where they'll fix something but then break something else, but it's usually not like game breaking by any stretch. and this vanilla core is phenomenal. I haven't played it on the Wrath core in a while though. The last time I played on the Wrath core, it was kind of buggy, but it's been updated like 3 times since I last played on it. Are they not mounted? Oh, they're probably fighting something. Yeah. Oh. Oh. I see. I'll get in on that. Yeah, there's really no contest. Like, I've used 3 other ones other than this one, and one of them was like one of the first single-player cores that ever came out. In fact, it might have been made by the same people. But it was pretty buggy. Bots would kind of float through the air, clip through walls. They were really hard to control in dungeons. You had to pretty much keep them back, like way behind you, so you could pull without them overextending and pulling the whole dungeon. And then there was another core that I played where the bots were smarter, but the hunter didn't work at all. And sometimes the healer just refused to heal. And the tank would refuse to tank. Are you going to get on a mount? I know you have a mount. Unless he's just that poor. Whatever. Oh, I should probably share my current quest. And I'm going to have him accept this other one too. Yeah, the Wrath core doesn't seem very high on their priority list. They usually update the vanilla Burning Crusade core. Oh shit, he's a really high level. I don't know if we can kill him. Yeah, he's just resisting everything. This is good raid practice. It just resists everything I do. Oh, like hell. Oh, there's another one. Oh, shit. If I kite them, they might be able to do them in. No, I'm getting focused. Yep. Here I thought I was safe. I had my own little posse going and everything, and I run into definitely at level 60 mage, and we just get wrecked. What you doing over there, woman?
Writing a review about the mini mart on Glassdoor.
Oh.
They're asking about the pros and cons, and every time I write 3 cons, I have to figure out a pro. Or else I'll feel shitty. I've been at this job so long.
I don't know why you're wasting your time with that. You could be playing Alien Isolation. I got like 2 viewers over here that wouldn't mind watching you squirm and scream.
I don't want to play Alien Isolation.
I'm just waiting for this dude to leave. Please leave. Quit corpse camping me, please. Look at him. He's taunting me. The bot. Okay. Oh, there's another one. Alright, is he gone? I'm gonna resurrect on the other end here just to be sure. Oh, these bots are hardcore, dude. Paladins are the worst. They're just immune forever, and they're over here two-shotting you, and you can't do any damage to them. It kind of sucks. Oh, his buff is the same as mine. In that case, we can go now. And they actively react to channels too. So if they have like a stun or something that they can use to interrupt your channel or fear or whatever, they do it immediately. We're about to get revenge. Oh shit, I keep forgetting I have to dismount in vanilla. Are you guys gonna kill him? Is he running away or is that the server bug? No, he's not actually running away. He's over here, technically. Yep. See? That's been a bug for a while, where you'll be fighting with bots and they'll just start running through the wall and shit, even though they're actually still standing right where they were. It's kind of annoying and disorienting. I just do Blizz like that, and I don't really have time to level all those skills. I did adjust the skill gain, because, like, I think in Blizz like it's, it's like 100% if it's orange. And then so much percentage for yellow, so much percentage for green, and 0 for gray. Well, I made it to where it was 100 for orange, 80 for yellow, 60 for green, and 40 for gray. So that way I can still level my professions and I don't have to stand here and grind them out. Oh, there's another one. Fuck them up. Sword territory now. I think this is the one that gives the quest. I have to... do it for all of them?
Back, 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 back.
South Sea Shakedown. Oh, I can have, oh shit, hold on. Gotta maintain the peace. Okay, I can have that bot share the pirate quest. Quest shared, okay. So did they accept it? You know what? For the sake of moving this along. Well, the thing is, I don't know if they already did it, and that's why they can't accept it, or what, but I'm gonna try to find out here. They said quest available. Yeah, it's available. There's a command for that, and I can't remember what it is. But I will just go ahead and quest add. That should have told me if it wasn't an actual command. Okay, good. It worked. Everybody should have it now. Okay, good. Oh, you're probably gonna have to right click. You're gonna have to, hold on. What's this called? You're gonna have to go to start, or the search box next to start, and you're gonna want to type in disk with a K, manager, or management. And it's going to give you something that either says disk management, or it's going to give you something that says create and format hard disk partitions, and you're going to want to click that. And you're going to want to find your new hard drive, and it's probably still fucking grayed out because it's a virgin, and you're going to need to format it, and then it will show up. It's raw. And you need to go in and format it. Just trying to make another lewd joke about raw and hard disk, but it didn't. I can't think of anything. And the only reason I know that is because I just had to format my new SSD like a month ago, a couple weeks ago. It took me a second too, because I'm like, wait, it should just work. And it's like, oh no, I gotta format it. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to use NTFS, and I usually just put everything else to default. Unless it's pre-selected. If it's pre-selected as something else, I don't change it. You should see, however big the one that you got is, you should see it in there. And it should be different than the other two. Well, I don't know what to tell you now. Sure you got it plugged in right? There should be, hold on, let me open it up. Rescan disks. There's a option for that if you go to action and hit rescan disks. Or refresh or whatever, I don't know. You know what? I never asked what everybody's spec was. Okay, you are combat. You are combat. I'm not going to put in whether they're PvE or PvP. It makes no difference to me. And you are a Frost. And you are a Balance. Oh, I already got him in there. Maybe you should have got an easy drive instead of a hard drive.
So confused. What the fuck is my resume?
Alright, Broseph.
James?
Huh?
Where the fuck is my resume?
The documents.
Yeah, but I can't fucking upload it to anything.
Why not?
I'm assuming it's in the wrong file format. I don't know how to change that.
1 second. Woman.
Stupid Linux bullshit.
Plain text document. Should be fine.
Then why can't I find it on any of these? When I tell you to upload your resume, I try to upload my resume and it's not even fucking in here. Like, go ahead, click. Add resume. Yes, upload. Document. Resume. Nothing in there. I can't upload it, it's not supported. It doesn't even, does it list what type of fucking formats?
Gonna have to go to Pop Shop.
Words are hard. So now I just have to fucking download a bunch of their shit, download a bunch of this shit, in hopes it doesn't fucking break my computer.
Oh, I guess they don't have anything they want to loot. Have they even picking up pirate hats?
Have you been checking your chat?
Yes, I've been checking my chat.
I'm just
When I'm not trying to help you with your bullshit. Yes, I'm trying to checking my chat.
Yes, I'm trying to be checking my chat.
Is Soulcraft in the repack? Yes, it is. I believe it is on by default, and you have to turn it off. I think. I'm not really a big fan of that. I usually just tune the dungeon with Heidi SQL and various GM commands. I really hate how you can't just cast when you're mounted. It's kind of annoying. If there's one post-vanilla change that I agree with, it's to be able to cast and auto-dismount. I can definitely get behind it. I didn't realize that chest was there. I've been over here like 7 times now and I haven't looted it. The polymorph mage bot can be pretty annoying when you're trying to tank though. Usually when you're tanking you really have to use the raid targeting indicators like these target icons. They skulls they prioritize. So if you skull something, they will poly something else. I'm not sure if they use the other ones at all. Can you not?
What?
What do you want?
I'm playing with Puppy.
You want to play Alien Isolation?
No.
Yeah, you do. You're so full of shit, Laura. Just play it. It'd be something we can do together because I haven't got past like the first area yet either, so. I don't know how loud that is on my microphone too, so it really needs to stop.
Yeah. You understand me?
You're encouraging it.
I can't carry anymore.
This is my nice voice, by the way. I forgot to sell stuff earlier. Oh, somebody said thank you, ma'am, for telling me. You don't even pay attention to anything I'm saying. Nothing now. Nothing.
You said something about
I'm not
me
repeating
annoying
myself.
You said something about me annoying you.
That was like 3 sentences ago.
Oh, sorry for loving on Puppy. My man for telling him.
Look at the chat, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you too. You're gonna smoke and we're gonna play
I'm finishing this. Very least. Comprende?
Okay. I don't speak Spanish, but okay.
Do you comprehend?
It's better. Oh, did
I don't know
I
how to work this. So.
did I screw that up? I'm sorry. I'm very lazy when I have bots. I'm lazy with real people too, so it's fair. I should have just been like a demonology warlock or something.
Documents.
So is anybody getting hats right now? I don't see anybody looting hats. It's possible that they're not dropping them too. The drop rate's actually pretty bad. Oh, I forgot that dude was over there. Hats. No, not the hat I'm looking for. No hats. Oh, that's not my thing. Oh, apparently I can loot the body again. Oh no, that's because they're still there. Can you guys come over the wall? Yes? Okay, good. The drop rate on these must just be really low. Oh, there's one. I kind of want that. Any hats? No. I'm gonna look up the drop rate on this real quick. Like the actual drop rate, not the Wildhead drop rate. Pirates hat. South Sea Pirate hat. So according to Wowhead, the drop rate on this ranges anywhere from 29% to 36%. The true drop rate if I go on Heidi SQL is 7855. Oh, I need to go to creature loot template, not creature template. There it is. $78.55. There's a lot of shit on here, so it takes a second. 2519. %. Is the true drop rate. So I don't know where WoW got 36 or Wowhead. But it's a 10% drop rate. Wowhead goes off reported, like people's reported experiences. Heidi SQL is the true drop rate. I can change that if I wanted to, but why bother? Hey, how's it going? I timed that perfectly. Now, dock workers are reportedly the least. So I'm going to see if that's true. 78.57. No, it's all the same. Everybody has the same drop rate. Them crits. Go ahead. Fuck me up. I don't care. I'm gonna have to switch back to my AMD encoder. This isn't working out very well for me. I think when I stream other games from now on, I'm going to use the software encoder. But with the server using so much processor, and I guess WoW uses a decent amount of processor too, which is kind of weird for a game being this old. It uses like 15% of my processor. It's weird. I could probably isolate it to like one core and it would probably be fine. But, eh. Anybody picking up any hats? Huh? I bet there's a rare mob up there. Oh, I gotta reapply my buffs. He can reapply his own buff. It's the same as mine. Gotta pull the whole place because I can.
I need more money.
Oh, that's an elite. Maybe. I don't know. Or it's a rare. I can't tell. I think gold is elite. Pretty sure. That's better than what I have. Oh. I almost want to do a hardcore run with boss. That'd be pretty cool. I'd probably have to turn PvP off though, so I would just get shat on. Or maybe we wouldn't count PvP deaths. I don't know. Oh, I can put that cape on now. Just stay exactly where you are. I want to see if I have the bot XP rate set up right real quick. Burning Crusade, I put it at 3. And in this one, it is at... should also be at 3. Yes. Okay. Making sure. Did you like my one mob blast wave that I did there? I did it strictly to days. Just 300 IQ move. Most people wouldn't understand why I did it. But it's fine. How much mana does that use? 355? It's not too bad. Considering my Fire Blast uses like 115 less mana for one target. What's the damage? 306 to 364. Yeah, that's actually a really good deal. Alright, we're going on the boat. Get on the boat. Who doesn't like a lot of AoE? I love AoE. I AoE and then that's just my job. That's all I do. I haven't picked up any hats yet. In the moment, anyway. How many do I have? I have 4. No, they looted some. Well, I got to do that again now. They looted it after the fact. Oh boy. This could take a little bit, but you know what? I got a lot of rested XP. It's fine. Okay, they're attacking dudes to the ground. It's probably not the best plan of attack. I'll pull them out. Oh, they don't respond well to caps, do they? Yeah. In a second here.
I'm about to go smoke right now. So.
Okay. Can you stop?
I was just hoping fucking with you enough would make you move faster.
No, if anything, it'll make you move slower.
Fine. Bye. Let me see.
I'm gonna swim out to this island here before I go AFK for a moment. Or fucking not. Never mind. I love WoW. I just fucking love this game. There's so many things I still don't know about it, and I just love it. Love just how massive. Like, it's not a complex game, but there's so many things. And mechanics, and mobs, and secret areas, and shit like that in the game that you're just constantly still learning it. And I guarantee if I go to play this in 10 years, and I will be, that, I'm gonna come back out here and I'm gonna totally forget that that shark's there, and I'll probably be like alt tab while I'm AFK swimming out, and I'll just get wrecked. See, the thing is, retail WoW has no replayability. Classic WoW has no replayability. This has a shit ton of replayability, and not even just because you can customize your server. I'll be back. Alright, tits. Did it work on the other?
No, I had to punch in all my shit. Punch in everything.
I want to use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter sucks.
It does, but I gotta have as many options as possible.
No, just use Indeed. It's fine. Or you can go straight to their website too and go to careers. You want to work for it. You want to work for it.
Oh no. That's the problem, is I don't have a job in mind. I want a job where I can work a fucking 7 to 3 or 8 to 4 or something like that.
Anyway.
5 days a week, Saturday and Sunday off, preferably. Something manageable, something PTO. Oh.
Sorry, but whiskey and cigars come before stream. That's just the bottom line. Alright, now all these guys are respawned, so we're just gonna go in here and raise hell. Come on, Mal. Clear him up. Clear him up. Come on, boys. Just not gonna heal me. Whatever. Thank you, Snookums.
Chill.
I need 16 more hats.
Oh, it's gonna be weird.
What?
Switching jobs again.
Hey, you'll be fine.
I said I wouldn't be fine.
It
And
sucks. I hate
'cause my
switching
hours-
jobs.
Well, my hours are gonna be fucking awful.
That's why I had my nails so far dug into the Acosta job. I didn't want to switch jobs. That job was just way too gravy to let go until they fucked me.
Applied retroactively to anything published before the new one went into effect. As soon as the new one goes up, the original will be unauthorized, meaning that you can't just leave the new one D&D alone, create previous edition content.
What was I doing? Oh, restarting my YouTube video.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have a copyright on most of the things that they have in the manual for Dungeons and Dragons. Most of the like dragons are not copyrighted by Dungeons and Dragons. Like you think about some monsters in Dungeons and Dragons.
That is weird. Dragons aren't copyright. You can just do whatever you want.
Like a minotaur, that's from Greek mythology. Let's see. A fucking Cyclops, again, Greek mythology.
You can't lay claim on anything you didn't create.
The Odyssey.
You could name a dragon character? And probably copyright that, but you can't copyright a dragon.
Goblins, yeah, this was not made by Wizards of the Coast. Mimics, fuck, can I think of anything? Mimics could be one, I don't know about that, but no, it can't be beholden to Wizards of the Coast because things like Dark Souls and other people use mimics. So that's probably not it. Let's see, maybe there's a Tarask, I don't know about that. Beholders, I'm not sure. Griffins, I don't know. Isn't what's copyrighted just the D20 system? Is a D20, can you copyright a D20 system? I bet you probably can't.
There's so many people that have used it since.
Tarrasque's from French mythology? I didn't know that. Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, like, a lot of these things that are...
There are, like, specific games that say, like, Neverwinter Nights and whatnot that specifically say they use Dungeons & Dragons rule set. And theoretically, if they're using that rule set, then they should probably have to pay to use it. But this is also back before, you know, corporate greed was such a big thing. At least among Wizards of the Coast. But you probably could, you know, charge people for that if they specifically say we're using your rule set. Anyway.
In Dungeons & Dragons, on the smaller and the larger level, are derivatives and just ports from ancient mythology or, you know, Tolkien. Like, if you put all of mythology together, and then you took Tolkien, and you put it together, you would probably encompass what I would assume to be 95% of D&D monsters, lore, and environments. If not more.
Have to comply with the new rules for every edition. The legality of this one is questionable, and I've heard debate online over whether or not they can even do this. I don't know either way, but this was in the leak. However, we are now at the absolute worst change in the entire document that leaves creators with zero security. Wizards can, quote, modify or terminate this agreement for any reason whatsoever, provided that they give 30 days notice. So if any of you thought that 750k was a weird number for them to settle on, and that it was just a starting point...
This group makes me want to do a dungeon, though. Seriously.
Stability is dead, and Wizards can effectively do whatever they want.
Yeah.
If they wanted to own everything you created under the OGL, they would just give you a 30 days notice and carry on their merry way. Not that they have to.
To be fair, and keep this in mind, any fan art that you draw is technically under law owned by the original people that made that art. So if you do fan art of Nintendo or like a Mario or World of Warcraft, for example, you actually don't own that copyright. The company that made it owns that copyright. No way this is true? Sure. Let me go ahead and show you guys real quick. Is fan art copyright infringement? Okay, I just want to show you guys real quick. Let me see here. And so if an owner does not consent to a particular use of work, fan art may be considered infringement. Either the copyright and or trademark of the original work of art is based on. Is posting fan art illegal? Technically speaking, there's something illegal about US about making and selling fan art. This copyright isn't enforced criminally. Rather, copyright owners enforce their rights by suing infringers in federal court. So that's not really a very good... let's see if I can find this here. Send fan art at a convention. Is there another one here that I can find?
Where the hell is my
Now, see, here's the thing.
druid? He's missing out.
Most TOSs, and I'll give you an example of a TOS, which is Blizzard's TOS, has an explicit allowance inside the TOS.
He's dead. We're gonna have to release, bro.
Content.
I don't have anybody that can help you.
On like Twitch and YouTube and to profit off of it. So there is actually consent given in the TOS of Blizzard, but that consent can be retroactively taken away. And an example of that is whenever PewDiePie had the bridge incident, and I think there was a game that was called like Firewatch or some fucking shit, they wanted to retroactively take that away from him, and they were able to do that legally. So yeah, there you go.
I've never played Firewatch.
The leak states that the company
I almost want to
gets the
at
right
some
to
point.
use anything that you create however they want.
Yeah.
Wizards will have
I mean, do I have... I should have that in my documents folder in my backlog. Yeah. I'll put Firewatch in there. Can't believe I didn't already have that in there. There. Fixed.
a, quote, Non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use your content.
We're gonna go to
for
this
any
ship.
purpose.
That ship sucks.
There are many other changes in this 9,000-word document, but these are the most important ones,
and like the thing is, like, that's worse than Blizzard, by the way. Like, I'll just let y'all know this, like, real quick. So, like, basically, you know how Blizzard put me in that one commercial? They actually got my approval from that, and they paid me money for that. So, like, they're worse than Blizzard.
I think they get the point across. Lastly, Wizards of the Coast has not commented on any of this since it became news.
Smart. I wouldn't do the same.
Now,
I'd do the same thing.
what does all of this mean for the future of Dungeons and Dragons? In the
You're
official
building
statement by
a house of
Wizards,
glass.
this is before the leak,
Castle
Wizards
on
of the
sand.
Coast told us that these changes exist to stop two things. Third parties from making NFTs and
It's very smart for them to use that. I think that's very smart language for D&D to use, because people don't like NFTs. So if they say they're doing it to stop NFTs, that makes it seem like they're doing something that's good. That's smart. The person who wrote this is smart.
big
I like that.
businesses exploiting their intellectual property. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I have not been seeing any of this. I haven't seen any NFTs, and I haven't heard from big businesses exploiting D&D.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, they consider you, the creator, the exploiter. They have already publicly stated that they feel owed if you make a certain amount of money, and with a clause that says that they can change the rules whenever they want, I suspect they're...
I've altered the rules. Pray that I will not alter them any further. That's the unfortunate reality of copyright law and IP law in America.
ambitions do not stop at 750K.
Look at you,
If
beautiful boy.
all of this is true, and I'm being very
Especially if you have
careful
a
to
staff.
say
You have a little
that
bit of
it
tobacco
may
in the
not
corner
be
of your
true,
mouth.
but for now,
On your
working
left
with
side.
this leak that Wizards of the Coast has not confirmed or denied, many creators who make their livelihood off of D&D content are shaking in their boots, and for good reason.
It's a huge W for whoever leaked this, because now Wizards of the Coast might actually not release it in the state that it originally was going to get released in. Because now they're getting shit on so hard, and it was like, this is just coming off the heels of the Magic the Gathering thing. They might turn this around because it just is going to make them look too bad.
So, what does this mean for the future of Dungeons and Dragons? If this is true, shows like Dimension 20 and Critical Role will step away from D&D. Publishers will distance...
Has Critical Role made any statements about this, or is this his assumption? It's his assumption? Okay, yeah. I was just curious, because I assume that this is something that they will apply selectively whenever they choose to, whenever they want to.
themselves as well, releasing
Their
content
contracts
that
with
is
them? Yeah, I bet they
compatible
do.
with, but not officially a product for D&D. Creators like me, who have been working on 5th edition content, will be discouraged and stop. Between the leaks and what we know
Waiting for the
now,
res.
two things are clear. This hurts Wizards of the Coast more than it hurts the community.
Yeah, it does.
The community is only as hurt as we allow ourselves to be. For me, I'm
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is too abstract of a concept to have a monopoly over tabletop fantasy adventure gaming. It's just, it's way too
Am I gonna get a
abstract.
res?
Like, yeah, sure, they can copyright certain types of, like, you know, proper nouns and shit like that. Like, different types, like named dragons, named wizards, named monsters. But most of this shit is public domain. Like, you're not gonna fucking copyright a Minotaur.
phase. I play several systems outside D&D, and I know the creators are not going to stop creating. Even if the creators have to switch games, they will keep creating,
Yeah, of
and
course
I
they
will
will.
keep buying their products. But many of you may just be D&D players and are understandably upset about where this is going. I
It just makes
understand
things
that this
complicated.
sucks. It genuinely does.
Yeah.
But if this is true and the 1.1 OGL is released, even if you think the current changes are okay for now, it's always 30 days away from being uncooperative, and creators know that. So, my recommendation for the Dungeons & Dragons community is to treat these leaks with their due skepticism, but
I think that it's great that Wizards of the Coast hasn't commented on this. And Wizards of the Coast, for as bad as some of the stuff that they've done is, they went back on the Dungeons and Dragons, or sorry, the 30-year anniversary Magic thing. They went back on that. So I'm not, like, there's a chance that they could get, like, they could see, like, this is so negative, like, we don't want to do this. This is why Games Workshop renamed all their races in Warhammer from generic stuff like elves to unique things they can claim copyright on. Yeah, it's like you're not the fucking, you're not the no, they didn't? In what way? I thought they stopped selling it. I thought that, yeah, I thought they cut sales on it. Am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? No, they didn't? Okay, well then, fuck, never mind then. Yeah, I thought they did. Yeah, it sold, oh, maybe it just sold badly and that's what I was remembering. I could have remembered the wrong thing. But yeah, that's smart how Games Workshop did that. But the thing is also Games Workshop made all that lore. Like, the God Emperor, this wasn't in Greek mythology, right? I mean, like, Zeus, yeah, but like, this is totally fucking different. Like, they have a whole thing. Like, Necrons were not in the Bible or something like that. They weren't in Tolkien. There were no Necrons in Tolkien. Let's see, Tyranids, it's like, are these dinosaurs? Like, yeah, kind of, but not really. You know, yeah, so to be fair, like, I mean, Wizards of the Coast, their content is like, obviously it's always kind of like, everything is derivative to an extent, but the Warhammer 40k universe is a unique world.
Be prepared for them to be true.
Tyranids from Alien?
Unfortunately, only time will tell, but things are looking really bad right now. If anything happens, I'll update you either on Twitter, or if it's really...
Yeah, it's really a good thing you can torrent the PDFs for all the D&D books, huh?
There it is. Yeah, I mean, I think that's good to say. I mean, I'm glad to see this. Hopefully, you know, we can bring some light to this and let people know they can't copyright creatures that are mythological, only those they created. Exactly, man. Exactly. And so that's kind of the point that I'm making about how a lot of the things in Dungeons and Dragons, like, fundamentally is, you know, not really copyrightable, and like a lot of other people can do something that's just about the same as Dungeons and Dragons, and they probably can't do shit about that. You know, Wizards of the Coast, more like Wizards of these nuts. The thing is, you're right nowadays. Yeah, this is a good fucking video, man. I never watched any of this guy's videos before CritCap. I'll give it a like, man. I'm glad to see this. At the end of the league, Wizards of the Coast said they're receptive to criticism and stayed.
Anything else?
This is a pathetic scam. Okay, here we go.
In the UK right now, there's a product that's more valuable than gold that people are going absolutely wild and wacky over. It's Prime, which is the drink
Twitch
from
Prime.
KSI and Logan Paul.
Never mind.
It's being treated like a holy elixir that's understocked and absolutely making people ravenous to get their hands.
I think this is just, Prime is just 2023's Four Loko. Okay, remember back whenever you were in middle school and the cool thing to have is Four Loko?
I vaguely remember
it's the
that.
Same general thing.
I remember Joe Cola more than Four
Prime
Loko.
panic is sweeping the UK, and there will be no survivors. It's like the blood of Christ has been bottled, and people
Boomer
can't
moment?
help
Yeah,
but just
I know.
go fight for it. And it's not because of the taste that's led to this situation.
Okay,
It's
here we
because it's become something of a status symbol.
Oh, God.
Having it makes you cool if you're very young,
Oh, boy.
and if you're very old, having it means you can charge a huge markup for it and scam those kids that are desperate for the attention that it brings
Yeah.
online. So there's been a lot
I
of
don't even
videos.
think it's the attention that it brings online.
I'm gonna
Like,
look that up
kids
here.
are super insecure because they're kids, especially whenever they're like just young enough to be self-conscious.
Those aren't even that popular.
Self-confidence. So that's
What
like
the
what happens
fuck?
is you have like these young kids that feel like they need to follow these trends and do all these things, or they're gonna fall off and they won't be cool.
Of people fighting each other for it. I'll show you a couple of clips.
Okay, I want to see that.
Oh my god.
Well, UK's an island of fucking retards, let's be honest. Used to be an island of,
Getting in there, throwing hands,
like,
busting
model
each other out
gentlemen,
like
and now it's just an island of
all
chest
just to get their
slapping
hands on some Prime.
fucking
I've had it
sheeple.
before because in the States it's not rare.
I mean, if it's good, then what's the problem?
It's not hard to come by. I could walk
never
outside
drank
right
this
now and
before.
find like an unopened pallet of Prime. It's really just in the UK that this hysteria is sweeping the entire nation.
Yeah, that's because
All
artificial
absolute
shortage is
shit.
something that UK's
So
used
I've
to.
tried it. I think it's good. I have no complaints.
They
but
love
I
it.
certainly wouldn't be beating some ass and being that desperate to get my hands on a bottle.
Yeah, well then there you go, right? If it's not that bad, who gives a shit? Yeah, it's just a drink. Yeah, but it's just a drink. That's not really bad. It's just it's the new thing that kids get fixated on. Who cares?
But you know who is extremely desperate?
Oh.
Is a place called Wakey Wines that I just recently learned about.
What?
Their entire business right now revolves around reselling Prime at a huge price increase, all the way up to £100 for a single can or bottle of Prime.
Uh-huh.
Usually
What's the
a
problem?
bottle will be about £2, but
That sounds
Wakey
like the UK.
Wines is treating it like it's the fountain of youth juice here.
Smart.
Selling it at 100 bottles or £100 per bottle in some cases.
Let's see here. I didn't even know the Prime drink existed until literally just today. I actually thought it was some stupid meme. Drink Prime by Logan Paul. Okay. Give me the about. Give me the about. Let's do a view all. 0 sugar. Well, there's your first fucking problem. Vegan. Hold on. Let me try this Prime drink. Ingredients. Contains 10% coconut water. Okay. 825 grams of electrolytes, which you don't need if you're playing a fucking computer game. You don't, like, when people call somebody sweats, they don't actually, that's just a metaphor. Okay, that's just a an expression or whatever for calling somebody a tryhard, because that got old. Okay. Nobody's actually sweating, so you don't need electrolytes if you're not sweating. Okay. All right. Continue. 250 milligrams BCAAs for muscle recovery. Again, you're not fucking doing anything. Why do you need muscle recovery? Vitamin B and many antioxidants. Electrolytes are natural occurring salts in the body that aid normal functions. When we sweat, we lose and need replacing. Again, you're not sweating. Thank you. And it uses an artificial sweetener. You know how fucking bad artificial sweeteners are for you? Why did this become a thing? You go to any dentist, and they'll be like, hey, you need to cut down on the soda pop. All that sugar is just going to rot your teeth out. And then you'd be like, what about Diet Coke? And then they'll be like, any sane dentist that knows what the fuck they're talking about will look at you and be like, You know, on second thought, just drink pop. You'll be fine. We'll just up your cleanings to every 3 months instead of every 6. We'll sort it out. Just don't drink fake sugar because your body doesn't actually dissolve it. It's a chemical. When it comes to real sugar, people don't fucking understand this. When it comes to real sugar, it's the same rule that applies to everything. It applies to alcohol. It applies to cigars. It applies to literally everything. Everything is great in moderation. You do too much of it, you eat too much ice cream, eat too many double whoppers, smoke one too many cigarettes, do one too many rails of cocaine. That's bad. You don't want to fucking do that. It's not hard to understand, but with artificial sweetener, that's a chemical that you're putting in your body. You might as like that's incredibly bad for you. There's nothing wrong with sugar and cane sugar. That shit came from plants. It's perfectly fine. Your body gets through it. Again, if you're worried about becoming a diabetic, it's called moderation. Or you know what you can do? You know what you can do? You can make your own diet drink at home. You know how? Take your favorite soda. Say it's Pepsi. Take your favorite soda. Take a glass. Fill a glass about a quarter to maybe half with water. I should probably patent this idea, but I'm not going to because it's so fucking obvious and simple that I'm not going to. But you fill it quarter to half with water. You fill the rest of the way with Pepsi. And look at that. You have a diet soda. Well, that's just watered down. Yeah, it is. Alright, awesome. Yeah, bring them all up here. Fuck them. Fuck them in the ass. Drinking a drink with artificial sugar in it is no different than having like a large McDonald's fry every time you have said drink, because the preservatives, chemicals, artificial sugar, chemical. Can I select greed on that? Okay, he won it. Anyway, that shit just sends me
cases.
Yeah.
And they're still successfully making sales. They've
fucking
actually
tilts
become
me.
extremely popular.
This is a good idea.
A lot of people are buying it from them. That's how outrageous this whole thing is. Now I want to show you a great video that breaks it all down. This comes from a channel named Fat Memer, and I learned everything there is to learn about Wakey Wines here. You hear the Wakey Wines people made their own drink. What's special about Wakey Wines? They price gouge everything they sell. How are they successful then? Oh, here, wait, here's a whole thing on it. Let me see.
Mohammed and Abdul, aka the Wolves of Wakefield, have been hitting national headlines over the...
The Wolves of Wakefield. I don't know anything about these guys.
What the fuck?
They seem like some real goofballs. I promise you, no one is calling them the Wolves of Wakefield besides them. They absolutely gave themselves that name.
Okay, since I will watch this video. Let me skip ahead to what he's talking about, and then, you know what? Let me watch it right now. What is it here? TikTok scamming? Okay.
Mohammed and Abdul, aka the Wolves of Wakefield, have been hitting national headlines over the last few weeks for reselling Prime at extortionate prices and their viral videos of customers. So how and why are Wakey Wines getting away with it?
I think it's totally fucking fine if you do this. By the way, I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like they're doing this to insulin. They're not doing it to, you know, some life-saving drug.
Doesn't matter. You can't just say one's okay and one isn't, because one saves a life and the other one's a shitty energy drink. You can't. It either is or it isn't.
It's not like this is Nestle trying to copyright water. Who cares?
Which they failed at.
It's a stupid tax, yeah. What the fuck are they saying?
Wakey Wines is an off-license located in Wakefield, just outside of Coventry in the UK. The shop is owned by Mohammed Azhar Nazir and is occasionally run by fellow shopkeeper and cameraman Abdul. Ironically, they haven't become known for selling wine, but Prime. Now, of course, because KSI and Logan Paul are the faces of Prime, they know that kids are willing to do anything to get their hands on this drink. For months, Wakey Wines has been the front runner for emptying kids' piggy banks, with fluctuating...
I fail to see the problem. I don't care. I actually, all right. We'll see what happens. But I do not care.
Same way I feel about insulin.
And selling it back to stupid kids for a price.
Same way I feel about anything.
This is not extorting. It's
if
not extortion.
If somebody is causing an artificial shortage of something, and other people are extorting that fact by reselling it at like a 5 million % markup, then I'll just go get something else.
It's an energy drink. Extortion would be like, oh, I can't buy shoes anymore, or we're gonna shoot you if you don't give us this money.
True. As Kurt Angle would say, it's true. It's true.
Kid that buys a bottle of Prime for $100 will probably not grow up to buy an NFT because they will have learned their lesson.
That's true, except it's probably not their money that they're spending.
For the brand new Prime Energy cans, Wakey Wines have taken the blueprint of Binley Mega Chippy and, well, just charge me. Even though the drink is now available in Asda and Aldi.
Is everybody's quest done like the other one? Because I'm about to release these guys to the wild.
The more virality Wakey Wines has received, it's left people wondering who the owner really is, which has led people to discover his dark past. In 2015, Mohammed received an 8-year jail sentence and served 4 years behind bars. At the time,
this is taking way too long.
And was convicted of selling cocaine and heroin.
And I need to get out of here because they're going to start spawning around me. Drop rate's the same no matter where I go.
He then cleared the air in a TikTok in January 2022.
Hi everybody. I'm just going to make a quick video. I want to tell you my story. What happened? In 2015, I was selling drugs. I was doing wrong.
Holy shit, these voices are annoying. I'm going to switch to a different video in a second. Oh, he's running away. Okay.
Ow.
Get used to it.
Hello?
Who was it?
My name's Jason, calling you from Energy Advocates.
Energy Advocates.
It's for solar panels.
Huh?
It's for solar panels. We live in an apartment.
So we'll get back to him in like a couple years. leave you his
the company. Okay, so the company that
was it an automated message?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Because usually what you do, if it's a real person, you know, you tell me it's gonna be about a couple of years yet. You mind if I get like your number? I can call you back. And you know they'll be like, they'll be like, oh well, I guess you don't want people calling you at home then, huh?
Well, it's Energy Advocates is the same company that Pauline went through.
Yeah.
For her solar panels that went bankrupt, but they split before they bankrupt. So only half of their company filed for total.
Does she still have her solar panels, or did they take them?
She sent them back to get her money back. Because there was 2 parts that she was supposed to get that she never did. That's why they didn't work right. They literally held them from her. So that when it was time for her to close the deal or whatever, pay it all the way off.
Hogwarts Legacy boy.
I've already watched that video.
She would have to get them repaired almost immediately. But she couldn't have anybody else come out and look at the solar panel.
I don't know anything about Genshin Impact, so I can't comment on anything there. Streaming puts this person's life in danger. Don't care. Why people are quitting Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Okay.
Why are people quitting Wrath of
Something I know about.
30% of players have quit Wrath.
Just 30?
So you may be thinking, why didn't Blizzard release
compared to vanilla, Wrath sucks.
Later? And it's because
Dragonflight's gonna make
content's great, but the mechanics are so far fucking watered down that it's like drinking a Dr. Pepper that's half, you know, glass that was half full of water and it's watered down. Just like what I was saying earlier. How about that? Everything just comes full circle.
Launch of an astonishing amount of success and high population. But recently, this month of December, the population has dropped off dramatically. In fact, it's in the bulk.
What a surprise. People got all the gear out of Nax and then they stopped playing the game. Who could have ever predicted this?
Of 20 to 40%. And today we're going to investigate.
To be honest with you, I think that's pretty good. To only lose 20 or 30% after having.
Wait, didn't I pull that one? I'm pretty sure that's my mob.
Like farm content available for months at this point, and still nobody is really quit. Like the game isn't dead yet. That's impressive.
Fuck you.
Why has this happened? First of all, it's important to understand that working out the player population is entirely impossible to do precisely since Blizzard don't release subscriber numbers anymore.
Yeah, I wonder
so
why.
We can really only make educated guesses. So this 20 to 40% ballpark that I'm climbing is based on Ironforge Pro website and also my own and other YouTuber analytics, you know, YouTubers who have exclusively made Wrath of the Lich King Classic content and have been doing regularly before and after the launch. By the way, guys,
I think this would probably make sense. That like a lot of people
come on, burn.
At this point, they've done everything that they wanted to do, and also like the game's been out for a while. Like a lot of times, this is the same with any expansion. Is people get into the expansion and then they stop playing it.
Only 30% of the people who are watching my videos are actually subscribed.
It's
so
not a bad
please
thing.
Quickly smash that sub button. It really does help out.
Why is this a thing now? Where people say in their video, you know, only 2% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. Why does that matter?
So, as you can see, according to Ironforge Pro, at the beginning of November, there were...
Who the fuck gives a shit about that statistic?
People raiding. And by the end of the month,
I don't
it was
know.
578,000 of this peaked at 626,000.
That's a lot.
At the start of December, there were 544,000, and now there are 402,000 as of the week I'm making this video.
Yeah, because people are going to have all the gear. Nobody wants to re-clear Nax for the 300th time and spend 2 hours out of their day or their week to get nothing. And yeah, and it was also the holidays. It's a good point too, yeah.
Obviously, this website only tracks people who raided in Wrath of the Lich King Classic, but according to my YouTube community poll, 7% of players did raid in Wrath of the Lich King Classic,
Yeah, I'd expect
who
that.
voted on this poll
Sure.
anyway. So, it's fair to say that a big chunk of the player base do raids.
Yeah, of course.
So we can make an educated guess about 23% less people are raiding now, as of the week of coming to Xmas anyway. Because if you put this week's raid data in, it would be fairly biased, because a lot of people obviously don't raid during the holidays. Most guilds don't raid anyway. This is primarily where Warcraft log data is coming from, because it's less likely that people will be logging in a pug. However,
I'm very curious to know what's going to happen with Ulduar. Because there's part of me that thinks that Ulduar is going to be the reckoning for classic Andes. It's going to be like fucking Thanos snapping half of the raiders out of existence. Because the brain-dead guy that comes to raid drunk and spams one macro and still does enough damage for you not to kick him out of the raid, and doesn't even know what's happening, he has to stand outside the room on Hegan or something like that. Yeah, or stand away from the group on Thaddeus. This guy is not going to make it in Ulduar. Ulduar is like the... Ulduar was the same step up in difficulty that Sunlow was. And that Nax was. It is that much harder than Nax, because not only is Nax an easy raid, but Ulduar is also the hardest ever raid. So it's like you're comparing one of the easiest ever raids to also the hardest ever raid, so it's artificially bigger gap.
one other thing to bear in mind is that we're at a stage in Wrath of the Lich King where people have multiple alts.
Yeah.
We were talking about this on the stream the
in
other night, and a lot
Wrath.
of people pointed out how Warcraft log data could make the situation appear better than it really is, because
That's a good point. Yeah, people would be raiding on multiple characters at this point. So, like, if everybody's raiding on, like, let's say 1.5 characters, then you can just remove, like, 30% of the player base from there, and that's going to give you a better estimate of how many people are actually raiding, how many individual players.
the logs are also coming from alts.
Yeah,
But the total drop on Warcraft logs is 36%. Now, I've talked to some YouTubers who are in my field. They make Wrath of the Lich King Classic content absolutely exclusively. Obviously, I'm not going to leave their analytics or anything or reveal who I've been talking to. But these creators have been uploading before.
Do I have a rune on
launch,
me? I don't
still
see it.
uploading pretty much on the same rate that they always
Their
have
viewership
been.
is down a lot.
And their statistics, they vary.
Oh, I have
between a
one.
30% to 50%.
I'm gonna have to
drop,
get
and I
more.
think most
Well, that's just because there's nothing. There's nothing.
I
else
have
to talk
46.
about.
I'm using it, and then I'll fly
Like,
back.
what are you going to talk about now? Like, I mean, Wrath of the Lich King's out. What's happening? Like you don't need to. How many videos about like how to get Immortal or how to get, you know, Sartharian 3 Drakes do you need? Right? I mean, it's just the truth. Like, it's a finite amount of content. And then whenever people run out of topics, then they try to make content out of topics that aren't as good. And guess what? People don't watch them. It's common sense. Yeah, fewer people are looking up guides 3 months into an expansion. Yeah, this is the same for as somebody that's...
Man, imagine having your whole life
for World of
focused
Warcraft. I don't know if you guys know,
on
but yes, I used to make WoW videos for WoW.
on making content that people want to watch. Imagine not having any other sort of income and having to stress about having good streams, good videos, etc. Imagine that. Wait, can I use the captain's key here? No. What are you over there been about?
It says ability to relocate or reliably commute to Granger, Indiana.
Yeah.
But when I search the freaking company, their only location is in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey, you know, we can make that work.
Ooh. Oh, that's Granger. Never mind.
I don't know why you're looking at places in Indiana. I don't know why you're looking at places in Indiana.
It's okay. It's how much a store manager of a Big B coffee makes.
Less than me.
Same amount as me.
Ah!
That's a nice one.
Cast that yet.
You should at least have to make the same amount as like a school teacher because you're constantly corralling kids and trying to get them to do work. I'm pretty sure I make more than a school teacher.
Not enough mana.
Only slightly, though. It also depends on the district and it depends on the experience.
Can't carry anymore.
An hour? Shit. For $12.
Can you do me a favor since you're over there doing nothing?
Looking for other jobs to apply to. It's just this is
Can you
some of
open
my
that window like a quarter? I want you to go ahead and tape measure and measure it to you to make sure it's a quarter. No, I'm just kidding.
I say you might want to.
WoW videos for the retail a lot, and I did even for Classic too, is that if you look at my analytics on like Twitch or on YouTube, you would see that views went up whenever the expansion came out. And then after the expansion came out, then they went down. That's the way every single one has gone. And guess what? That's what happened with every single game. It happened with Lost Ark, it happened with Final Fantasy, it happened with World of Warcraft, it happened with Dark Souls, it happened with every single one. Because people get excited at the beginning, and then they drop off over time.
Creators out there probably would agree it's in that ballpark. This isn't a perfect method because obviously some of the creators I asked have actually grown this month simply because they're an upcoming creator, and some just simply haven't dropped that much because they began to upload more this month than they did before and during the launch.
Yeah.
Because they were obviously playing the game a lot and not making videos as much. But most people I talked to did agree that it probably is about a 30% drop, because I also talked to some Twitch streamers and they also said that their viewer counts did feel like they had dropped by 30%.
That's a very bad, well, it's not a bad metric, but I think that it's missing context. Twitch viewership in general is down by somewhere between 10 to 25%, depending on the category, but Twitch viewership...
So, your viewership drops by about 30%. Overall viewership dropped by about 10 to 15%. So how do you measure that as a player count for Wrath of the Lich King? Well, considering most people that stop watching a stream, they're not necessarily losing interest in the game. They're just losing interest in watching you play it. They'd rather just play it themselves. Like, for I'm the perfect example here. People pop in my stream to watch me play single player WoW, and they're like, oh, that's cool, how do you do it? I show them how to do it, they never come back again. You know, you can fucking lead a horse to water, but you can't make him suck your cock, you know? No, that's not right. You can teach a man to fish, but you know what I mean. But they're not gonna come. They're never gonna come back again, ever, because now they know how to do it. Why would they watch me play it when they can do it themselves? It's perfectly free. They're not sitting here watching me for 2 to 3 weeks play a game that they can't afford yet because they're still getting their allowance money from doing the dishes. They can just go out and get it. So the actual number would probably be 15% at most. Subscriber drop, player
Overall
count
is down. This is because obviously nobody gives a fuck about COVID anymore. COVID is over, And I mean, I guess it was over 3 months ago too, but this has been a downward trend. And on top of that, Twitch has been strangling itself to death with ads. And guess what? There are people that stop watching Twitch because of ads.
That's true.
I mean, I think
1 minute long fucking ads.
You see like ads 1 of 6. Like fuck this. So yeah, that's affected their analytics. And the place that I get that data from is Twitch Tracker. You can look at how many people are on Twitch, how many people are on different directories, etc. And also, there's not a lot of... The reason why the WoW section has always been a very healthy section on Twitch is because there are a number of big streamers that continuously go into the section and inject it with viewers. And it's the same reason why Final Fantasy is not a popular section. It's because there are no big streamers that play Final Fantasy. Like, for example, like you talk about big streamers. Okay, you have like Mizkif, Sodapoppin, XQC, Hassan, me, Shroud, fucking Nick Merckx. Let's see, who else are we not thinking of? Like Aiden Ross, Kai, Summit, Lyric. Oh man, am I thinking of any? Who am I missing? Moist Critical, yes, Moist Critical. Forzen. Like I'm talking people that get 20K. Like 20K plus viewers. Fuck. I'd say that's probably like a 10 to 10 man, like Tyler 1. Tyler 1 pretty much just plays one game. The point is that a lot of very big streamers with huge communities go into the WoW section regularly for content. Whether it's me, Shroud, Sodapoppin, fucking, like, let me think, who else really does it? I've seen even fucking Moist Critical's been playing WoW semi-regularly. That was pretty cool to see. And, like, maybe a couple of other ones that yeah, Tim, NMP, there you go. And see all of these people go into that section, Lyric, and they inject it with their viewers. They introduce their viewers to that type of content, and then all of the other streamers in that section grow. The truth is, with Dragonflight, and also to a lesser extent with Wrath, this didn't happen. Sodapoppin didn't even stream the release of Dragonflight. I streamed the release of Wrath on my alt. So, guess what? There's not that many viewers that are going into the section, and the section isn't being fed that many viewers from larger streamers, because it's like an ecosystem type thing. So that's why there are less viewers watching Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and also the big reason is because it's fucking boring. It's easy, it's formulaic, there's nothing exciting that's happening.
It's true.
People have already seen the arena stuff. It's fucking boring. Like, that's why nobody streams it, nobody gets views doing it.
Now, I suppose when you look at this positively, a 30% drop doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, everybody's seen it.
It's probably just a typical post-expansion launch drop-off because the honeymoon period is over. So let's take a little time to compare this against the post-Burning Crusade launch. So when TBC launched, 357,000 people were raiding on the launch week of TBC Classic, and 342 people were still raiding regularly in TBC 4 months after the launch, before there was any significant drop-off, and it's down to about 300,000. So the influx of players to Wrath of the Lich King Classic has been bigger. People raiding anyway. It's in the ballpark of 50% more players when you compare the peak periods on Ironforge Pro.
Well, Wrath was way more hype than TBC was. Like, whenever TBC came out, people were excited for it, but, like, TBC was mainly for WoW enthusiasts. It was for people that love WoW, they used to play back then, they're serious players, TBC hype. Wrath of the Lich King was much more casual. It's when a lot of the...
You son of a bitch.
Whenever the subscribers were the highest, so that's whenever most people started playing WoW.
Okay,
back
good.
Then.
Still alive.
It was in Wrath. So they even have a term for it called Wrath Babies, and I think people still use that term every once in a while. Max, the guild leader of Liquid, started in Wrath. A lot of people that are serious players now started in Wrath. So, of course, people are going to come back, and I think the marketing that Blizzard did was...
Who's over here, huh? I've never been over here yet. Who's over here?
Especially with, like, that fresh server thing. That was also really big. And there were a lot of reasons why Wrath of the Lich King got popular, much more so than TBC. And also because...
Just some rocks? Okay, sounds good. I like rocks.
It was harder to do Karazhan than it is to do Nax. Anybody can do Nax. It took a little bit more time to do Karazhan.
And again, when looking at my own analytics on YouTube, that feels fairly similar. But the drop-off of players has been more severe this time round, and it's happened much sooner. So why has this happened? Well, I predicted this in a video 9 months ago, that it was going to happen. The video was called My Biggest Worries for Affliction Classic, if you want to check it out. One of my biggest worries in that video was that Phase 1 would just simply last too long, because Phase 1 is boring. It's the worst and most dull content you're ever going to experience.
You're going to say that, but in my expectation, you guys can quote me, I hope I'm wrong on this, but I don't think that I am. But Phase 1 Classic WoW is going to have the highest raid participation of all of Wrath until maybe ICC, but probably including ICC. You're right that it's easy for you, and it's easy for me, but there are so many brain-dead, dumb-fuck classic Andes that they love raiding Nax because it's easy, they know everything about it, they hope they get Betrayer of Humanity, and they're going to go into the arena and they're going to kill everybody.
I tried. I shouldn't have done it, but I tried it.
It's the same reason why, you know, like you go and look at the amount of people that were raiding Sunwell and the amount of people that were raiding Nax, and it was a lot lower than Molten Core and Karazhan. Now, obviously, that's also because it's at the end of the expansion, so it's hard to really gauge these two things. But I think that there is a trend, same with Retail WoW, that harder raids, you're going to have less people doing them. So I think that Old War will be a reckoning for Classic.
In Wrath of Lich King Classic is why private
when I level, I'm gonna go.
Run-up phase to get
I'm going to teleport. I'm gonna buy spells, and then I'm gonna switch games. Probably gonna get her to play Alien Isolation actually.
About 4 weeks before getting on with some real Wrath of the Lich King Classic content.
You hear that, woman? You hear that, woman? When I level, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get my new spells, and then I'm gonna switch games, and you're gonna play in Isolation. Nope, nope. I'm signing you on for it. I'm your husband. I can sign you in for things. It's so fucking boring.
Because I get one call back.
How many applications have you put in the last hour? Hmm?
2.
There you go. That's what? You're at 8 total now? 6? That's fucking more than I ever put in.
Well, 4 of what I applied to, I am like either underqualified or not qualified at all. Or
well, I take that back. When I was on unemployment, I was putting in a lot of random applications to places. So
well, I pretty much only apply to places that I absolutely want to work.
I'm not counting unemployment though. But when I was actually looking for a job, I maybe put in 2 applications at the most because there was just so many places I didn't want to fucking work at. Wanted nothing to do with them. People are like, you need to get some money. You need to start paying some bills around here. It's like, no, I'm not working at McDonald's. Sorry. I've done my 2 years in fast food. My time's done. Everybody has to do their time. I did mine. I'm gonna have to use this, huh? Didn't even have the fucking common courtesy to drop a hat for me. She's not wearing a hat though, so it's understandable.
Private server devs are smart. They want to maintain players after a server launch, and they normally do it pretty well. Well, let's be honest, until a new fresh server comes out anyway. The simple fact is many players are already bored of Phase 1 and have quit to play something else. Which leads us on to our second bit.
I think the problem also is that Wrath of the Lich King Classic for Blizzard does not exist inside of a vacuum. Like, they have Wrath Classic, they have Dragonflight, they have whatever they're going to do with Season of Mastery, and then in a greater sense, they have their other games, like Overwatch, Diablo 4 that's going to be coming out. And these games are all going to have content releases that are probably not going to be on the same day, that will continuously keep players in the Blizzard ecosystem. And I think that's one thing that private servers don't care about because they're not Blizzard.
Biggest reason, and that is Dragonflight. Now, Dragonflight has had a more successful launch than what was expected, mainly due to the gameplay improvements and the
Dragonflight is good.
removal of systems that players didn't like in previous expansions. And this very likely stolen some of the classic WoW audience. Now, I emphasize the word some here, especially some of the casual audience anyway, because, or what you would call on and off MMO players. Because I still think the vast majority of classic players just haven't touched Dragonflight. There's a lot of classic players.
I don't know. Oh, look who it is!
Who don't just dislike retail, they passionately hate it.
Yeah, that's
true. So I
true.
think some of the classic WoW players have gone and played Dragonflight, but combine the small player base being stolen on top of a lot of players just quitting from simple boredom, and then you do...
I think that really a lot of classic players probably did try out Dragonflight. This is kind of what I would guess. But I don't know if they'd stick around. It's like Dragonflight is just... The thing is, like, classic WoW is a very easy game. Dragonflight is not an easy game. Like, I will say doing a plus 20 Ruby life pools is harder than any content that will be released in Wrath of the Lich King. And it's not even close.
Have a big drop. I mean, this drop very likely is a third or a quarter of players. The novelty of new classes and quality of life systems has worn off because there's not enough content to play. You have to keep players interested in your game, otherwise people will leave. The main way MMOs do this is obviously by releasing new patches, new content, or by having a fun, replayable, competitive PvP mode with very short entry requirements.
I don't think people give a fuck about PvP as much in Wrath as they did in original Wrath. People have already done that, and I think back in Wrath, this was in like 2008, 2009, a lot of people in Cataclysm stopped playing Cataclysm whenever League came out, and whenever Dota got really popular. Because a lot of people liked what WoW had, but they liked Dota and League more. But now you have so many other PvP games that you're never going to recapture that effectively, like monopoly that WoW had on players wanting PvP in this type of a form.
Problem with Phase 1 is it's a raid we've already done. We've done Naxxramas, been there, got the t-shirt. So effectively, there was only 2 new raid bosses and some new heroic dungeons. So you may be thinking, why didn't Blizzard release Orduar earlier and release Dragonflight later? And it's because the population of Wrath of the Lich King Classic, it doesn't matter to Blizzard as much as the population of Dragonflight.
And it shouldn't.
Because the population of Dragonflight is more monetizable. Even
well,
if
it's not even that it's more monetizable, it has more longevity. I think anybody would assume that by the time Classic Cataclysm comes out, it will not be like... I feel like people's...
Why even have that come out? Like, why the fuck would you even do that? Classic is a chance to right wrongs, not to recreate the whole bullshit fuckery that ruined the game in the first place.
Excitement for Classic is like, this is Classic, this is TBC, this is maybe Wrath. I felt like Wrath was going to be worse than TBC, but apparently not. But like Kata is like, whoo, like that's the cliff. I think Classic ends after Wrath. So it's like, of course it's a bad idea to focus on player numbers on something that has a 1-year shelf life, best case scenario.
As people play Dragonflight, they'll probably still be able to make more money from the Dragonflight audience with cash mounts, the game token, and other store purchases. And obviously if they had to buy the expansion in the first place, whereas the classic audience, they don't need to buy the expansions anymore. And if you think about it,
I haven't gotten a single hat.
Only a few days ago, Blizzard probably wanted to suck up the shareholders by looking.
But that's fine. I need the XP.
One of the best ways they could obviously do that is getting the expansion released before the.
I just wish I did a little bit more damage.
Buying the expansion. Why'd you?
Yeah, I think that's true. This happens all the time. I remember this happened with PUBG whenever it got actually released. It wasn't ready, but they released it anyway.
I think also this quarter that they introduced the year-long subscription reward for Wrath Lich King Classic and for Retail World of Warcraft together. Now, we might be getting a bit dramatic here, but in my humble opinion, this highlights the downfall of the MMO. Ever since developers have tried to squeeze more money from their player bases out of less players, the quality of the product itself has declined.
I don't know if that's really true. I think, like, for example, you have a game like Lost Ark that makes a ton of money, and it has quality raids, and it's pay to win. And then you also have New World that came out, and it wasn't pay to win, but it had less quality options. And then you have WoW that's somewhere in the middle. You have Final Fantasy that doesn't have that problem. In my opinion, I think that people are very much looking forward to MMOs. That's why every single time a new MMO comes out, it is the top of Twitch. Like even after the Lich King Classic, Dragonflight, like Tower of Fantasy for a
It's true.
Like
it's true.
Categories, and it was like just some no-name fucking Chinese Honkai Impact ripoff. Lost Ark was at the top of Twitch for months. New World was at the top of Twitch for like 1 or 2 months. People love MMOs. And that's reflected by every single graph that every game has had. The problem is that people don't love the MMOs that are actually out because they don't hold people's interest.
You'd think with the company making more money from the player base, it would mean that they would reinvest this money into making a better game and releasing more content for that game.
I think they're doing that. Like, my opinion is that Dragonflight has been exceedingly successful. And that's why almost everybody who I've talked to, everybody acknowledges 2 things. That the player base for Dragonflight is smaller than the player base for Shadowlands, that the game has less people that are playing it, but at the same time, they're happy with the game and they don't mind. How do you know that? Well, I don't know about everybody. You're right about that. I know about, like, I've talked to like 30 people about this, like private, like friends, you know, people like comments I've seen on YouTube, like other content creators. I think that's my sample size. So yeah, I don't know everybody, of course, but I think that Dragonflight, the content that it has is good. It did all of the foundational things relatively well. Vault of the Incarnate is a good raid. Mythic Plus is relatively good. Arena, solo queue has been fucked. I saw Palinka made a tweet about this because people keep leaving, but overall, people like solo queue. And they're already coming out with the trading posts. They're already coming out with new things that you're going to be able to do in the game. Dragonflight is unironically good and looking like it's going to get better.
Well, that is absolute copium. Okay, no offense to anyone who thinks that, but it is absolute copium. And releasing more content for that game, but that is absolute copium.
Okay, why?
Okay, no offense to anyone who thinks that, but it is absolute copium. I definitely think there are some exceptions out there in the industry. You know, it's not all doom and gloom. Not every game developer company is pure evil. But what's fairly obvious is Blizzard would never care about making Classic WoW the best possible product they could possibly can, because it will make them less money than releasing a...
If he's talking about Classic in particular, then he's right. Yeah, like, I think he's talking about Classic specifically, not, like, World of Warcraft as a whole. Because he's differentiating them here.
The cash shop.
Yeah.
Blizzard will at least make Classic good enough to keep people playing it, but they won't unleash its full potential, while a more monetizable version of
the reason why they're not going to release Classic's full potential is because it will take a lot of work and it will require new content. Classic's full potential is Classic Plus.
Hey.
Wrath of the Lich King Classic is nice, but when did OSRS really pop?
You might want to start practicing for the oil change place and change out my drink.
Scarlet Monastery raid. They want Grim Batal. They want the Dragon Isles in Classic WoW. That's what's gonna bring people back.
Game still exists. And this is why Phase 1 lasted too long. It doesn't matter to Blizz.
The fucking monkey could do medical billing. Anyway, I'll go make it then. I just got a new viewer too, and they're probably gonna leave. They're gonna leave because Sep's leaving, and they're thinking, well, I'm not gonna wait around for this dick sucker. I barely know him. I don't know if he sucks a good dick or if he sucks a bad dick.
I suck good dick.
Yeah, you suck a good dick, but they're worried about what kind of fucking skills I got.
Words are hard for you today, aren't they? I can't believe they called me back.
That
I'm a little
doesn't
skeptical of that.
surprise me at all. Remember, Acosta?
Yeah, they called you back, I think, the same day you put in your application.
I'm pretty sure it was the same day. They're like, man, I want.
You put it in at
I want
10 o'clock, and they called you at like 2.
I want the great one working for me. That's what they said.
No, their hiring manager was just sitting there hitting refresh on all their hiring websites.
Yeah, well, they don't have much else to do. Trust me.
Well, they get paid like probably get paid like what, $8 an hour at that point in time to do that all day.
No, they're probably paid like 16.
Now.
No, before, because it was 13. 12, 13 was a starting pay based on experience. Well, I had experience, so I got 13.
Job, but a hiring manager is literally just looking for applicants all day.
That's probably 16,
it's
17.
No. If you could look up fucking hiring managers right now, and it's like their base pay, I think it's like $13 right now, so.
You want to play WoW with me? I don't care if you do or not.
Why are you trying to get me to, like, not do job applications?
I don't know. I never get to spend any time with you, and you already put in like 700 of them, so.
I only put in 6 applications. That's not 700 of them. I have to put in a lot, and I have to put in.
I frankly don't care what job you get, but 60 an hour and not having to pay half of your fucking taxes that you owe sounds like a good deal to me.
Oh, I forgot. I won't have local or city tax.
No.
Ooh, that's an extra $100 paycheck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Enjoy having $130, $140 taken out of your paycheck by the federal government, though. If you work 40 hours, you're gonna hit that pay tier. That's gonna suck donkey dick.
It's gonna be like the same amount of pay I was getting at Wendy's. It was $13 an hour, and I would have a $1,500, $1,600 paycheck, and I'd only get $1,200. As long as I'm making consistently $700, I'm good. All my bills are paid every 2 weeks. All my bills are paid.
But
I will make you drink.
yeah.
I'm gonna go smoke, and I'm gonna switch laundry.
All right. I just want to level. That's all I want to do. As soon as I level, I'm switching. I'm going to Orgrimmar. I'm switching games. I'm not tired of WoW. It's just, you know, vanilla. Okay. It's just vanilla things. Oh, he's dead. Thank you, Snookums.
It's just my scrap ready.
Okay. This is potentially bad. Be right back. Biops. I see a snoot. Oh. Oh wow, I'm almost dinging here. Almost dinging. Just one more of these motherfuckers, probably. I'm going full try hard on this guy. I might need a prime drink because it has electrolytes. Wow, we've really become idiocracy, haven't we? Holy shit. One more. One more. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Thank goodness. Fuck yeah. Alright. Time to go learn some things. You know, Alright. I need... somebody to sell me more teleportation stones. You know, actually, let me leave here. I'm gonna find somebody to sell this stuff to. And I'm gonna need the repaired.
Be careful. Looking for something special?
Man, I picked up a lot of random shit.
Go in peace.
Ah. Whatever works.
Hello.
Fucking ads.
A lot of the players probably already bought this year-long subscription model anyway for the mount, and Dragonflight has the same subscription, so they can maintain the same paying customer by just drawing them into playing Dragonflight instead.
Which is a good thing, by the way. I think this is a good thing. Making classic players and retail players WoW players instead of just being one of the different games, I think this is good and more healthy for the game.
If you think about it...
Because it makes it to where whenever classic WoW has like a lull in content, Dragonflight doesn't, and vice versa. This is good if you are a WoW player.
Classic is just a free add-on to the main World of Warcraft subscription. If they split the subscription model, Classic WoW would definitely be a very different product. What I mean by that is, imagine if Classic WoW had a separate subscription model to retail World of Warcraft. You know, maybe Blizzard would optimize increasing and maintaining the Wrath of Lich King Classic player base more and have their releases more staggered throughout the year and not too close to releases from retail.
I think if they had two separate subscriptions, it would kill both games. It would be one of the worst decisions Blizzard could ever make.
But, if we're going to be honest, they'll probably just find new ways to monetize the Wrath of Lich King Classic audience and make more money out of less players.
Oh, they will.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments section.
Like, they're going to add like probably a boost or something like that in Wrath, probably add a store mount or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised, or something similar. Sure.
down below anyway, because I think it's an interesting topic to talk
Wow,
about.
I don't think they're going to do
My
WoW
name is
token.
Matt Goblin. To the next video. Ciao.
Yeah, I think this is a decent video. Obviously, like, the question of why people are quitting Wrath Classic is very simple. The answer is very simple. It's because Nax is boring. It's been out for a long time. Dragonflight's come out. People are doing that, and other games are out, and people move from game to game. That's just how people play video games now. It's the same as Elden Ring. I mean, Elden Ring experienced this. It was Game of the Year, and a lot of people agreed with that. I think that if you were able to see the player base for God of War, it would probably be about the same thing. CEO says you're stealing if you're working 2 jobs. Okay, what's the logic? Well, let's find out.
So today we have a CEO that fired 2 software engineers because they were working 2 jobs at once. He went on LinkedIn and he wrote a post saying how if you work 2 jobs, you're stealing and you're not an ethical or an honest person. His name is Davis Bell. He's the CEO.
What did he actually say? It's a new form of theft and deception, and not something in which an ethical, honest person would participate. I think that, do you have to disclose, because like if you lie and you say I'm not working any other job and you are, then yes, clearly that would be unethical and it would be deceptive, right? I mean, of course it would be. And I think in other situations it could be as well. But if this isn't explicitly asked, or this has no real bearing to your actual job requirements or your obligations, then I don't think it's a big deal. You generally sign a non-compete contract. And that's the thing, right? And this is the point that I'm making, is that I usually try to hear out what people say, even whenever they have an opinion that is generally wrong. I try to hear the right and wrong opinions and the wrong and right opinions. So we'll see what this says. But I do think that, yes, if you are working at a company with a non-compete clause and you're secretly working for another company inside of the same industry, then yes, you are. It's absolutely unethical and it's absolutely dishonest, and you should absolutely be fired for that without even a question. Well, that's different. You're right. That is different. So let's see what the context is.
And you're not an ethical or an honest person. His name
Right.
is Davis Bell. He's the CEO at Canopy.
Bald.
Now, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm pro being overemployed, but only if you can handle it. It starts here. We've caught and fired 2 recent hire engineers who never quit their last job at a big tech company when they came to work for us. They were following a new trend of picking up a second full-time job while lying about it to both employers. Did they say, I am not working 2 full-time jobs, I'm only working for you? Did they commit?
Well, I think that, yeah, what I'm saying is that I think in a lot of these contracts, especially with software engineer and intellectual property type jobs, you do have to sign non-compete contracts. I know, like, my dad had to sign one whenever he worked at the company that he worked at. So yeah, I have no problem if you're not, like, theoretically, like, if you're not signing an
Awesome. These are the 2 spells I need the most.
explicitly lying about working 2 jobs, then I think that it's 100% ethical, 100% fucking fine. And I think honestly, the employer doesn't really have any grounds to, like, ask you, oh, well, can you quit all of your other jobs just to work at this one? I think that a non-compete clause is logical because it's in the same industry and it could be a competitive advantage. But anything else is probably overreach.
Bye-bye now.
Or if it's not a competing company, well, then that's different.
I'm gonna go ahead and fly back while I figure out what game I'm playing next year.
Yeah, you're right. That's wrong. Don't lie to your companies about that. Don't break agreements like NDAs and non-competes. But let's be real here for a second. If there's no agreement to not have a second job, it serves no purpose to tell your company that you have a second job. Especially
I don't think so. It would. I don't think it would. And I think it would probably be bad for you if you said you had a second job.
if you're not an executive.
I need to find where Regent Trainer is.
But suspicion and ammo to use against you.
Yes.
Some people might say, if you don't tell your company, that would be lying by omission. But in my opinion, it's self-preservation that just ends up looking like malice. He continues.
Well, it is self-preservation, and that's what matters. Because at the end of the day, if that company thinks that you are a liability, they will throw you in the fucking garbage in a second. Don't forget about that. Always do what's good for you.
continues his LinkedIn post and says, "This is not about side hustles or moonlighting. These were people holding down 2 full-time synchronous jobs and lying about it, trying to be in 2 meetings at once, etc. Their early performance was really bad, and fortunately, we have great managers who sniff them out very quickly. Whenever I read stories in the media about people doing this, I'm usually surprised that they don't make a bigger deal of the core moral issues at play. You know, it gets fun when CEOs talk."
No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think that whenever you look at this here, and what is the problem here? The problem is that their early performance is really bad, and managers found out about it. So the problem isn't the fact that they were working 2 jobs. The problem is that their performance at one of the jobs was bad. That's really what the issue is. It has nothing really to do with working 2 jobs. They could be working 5 jobs, and if their performance was good, I bet this guy wouldn't care. I bet he cares because they're doing a bad job.
About moral issues at work. He says, "Working 2 full-time jobs is stealing, and it also involves a great deal of lying and deception." Now, Davis, I don't think people should take 2 full-time jobs and then not follow through with their commitments.
Exactly.
I don't think that's right. I don't promote that.
I
You know,
agree
not
with
every person out there working 2 full-time jobs is stealing. You can't make blanket statements like that, Davis.
It's such a stupid thing to say. It's such a ridiculously stupid thing to say. And it's like, I don't think this is a situation where, like, the exception is being turned into the rule. I think that in most cases, with most people that are working 2 jobs,
I'll buy like 5
the
of them.
jobs don't really interfere with each other in a professional way.
Like, sure, I can agree that most likely
Maybe pay people a livable wage so they can do only one.
Let me see what I can get at the auction
These
house.
are software engineers, man. Like, the odds are they're making a good living with their 1 job. But you could be making twice as much if you had 2 jobs. Like, yeah, we're not talking about, like, gas station employees.
I already got my mount,
These are
so
engineers.
these software engineers don't need 2 jobs as you think they get compensated enough, but some people need 2 jobs just to survive.
Yeah,
and
they
this
do.
post makes it sound like everyone wanting to make more money and do more for themselves and their family is a ruthless, lying, deceiving thief. Most people don't have a business to just go and sell a product, to just go and make more money, and they aren't in charge of their
It's
salary.
surprising that somebody who's a CEO of a company would be this bad at communication. I think that he's probably just really mad that it happened and he felt like he got cheated or something like that, and he's being emotional about it. But it's weird to see somebody who's this bad at communication who has a high position like this. He was angry? Yeah, he was angry.
Or when that will be adjusted, if it gets adjusted. So all most people can do is get a second job. And can we mention the people just for a second that are already basically working 2 jobs, but at 1 job? Shout out to those.
Yeah, that's what happened at Home Depot. My dad was thinking about just like working at Home Depot after he retired. But then he learned that they fired like 1/3 of the people at Home Depot that were doing inventory. And then they just made the sales associates do inventory at the same time as helping the customers. Problem solved. There it is.
Those people are putting in 80 hours a week already. It's basically already working 2 full-time jobs. All it should really just come down to is, are you available? Are you reliable? Are you putting out quality work? Are you breaking any contracts that you signed? Any non-competes?
Exactly.
Any NDAs?
Yeah.
No? You're not? Well,
It's
then
totally
if
fine.
everyone is satisfied with your work, why does it matter if you're working for multiple people?
Yeah, and I also think that the problem is that if you say that it is okay or it's bad because it could potentially put you in a position where you'd have to prioritize one thing over another with a job, I think that you can make the exact same argument for having kids. So this is actually an argument that used to be used against women.
I've never worked multiple jobs. I've worked a main job and I've done certain things on the side.
To keep them down in the work.
So I'm kind of out. I don't have a horse in this race in terms of the conversation.
Of advancements and positions because they were considered, oh, well, you know, she might get pregnant or she might have to take care of her kid or something.
I think it's really shitty if somebody has to work 2 jobs.
It's the exact same thing to having a second job at the same time.
Especially if they have kids. Because that's like you're not spending any time with the kids at that point. It's just really shitty.
And it already has, or it's being...
And I can tell you from experience that there's plenty of jobs you can get out there with little experience and no college degree. And you'll get I wouldn't say plenty of time with your family, but more than you would if you've worked 2 jobs.
You know, I mean, that's the same thing this guy said. Yeah, and this is non-complete or something like that. Used to? Well, yeah, it doesn't happen as much as it does now. I'm sure it still happens now, but it's probably a lot less.
Seriously, tell me, why is it stealing? Why is everyone a thief if they're working 2 jobs at once? Is it a loyalty thing? Is it they aren't getting your full attention? Is it how can they manage 2 meetings at the same time? They're dishonest, unethical people if they find a way to make that work. Because if that's the case,
They don't have anything I want.
Canopy,
Are the bots
you're
selling
also an
shit at
angel
this auction
investor
house like
in
they
what
are in the
seems to
other
be
one?
like 11
see.
companies. If I scroll down on your main page here, we can see your current experience. You're the CEO of Canopy. But right here, it says you're an angel investor for various companies, 11 different companies. Now, I don't know how much time this takes
would
from
probably
your
be
schedule
easier
during the day, but I imagine it surely takes some. So you can work.
This is not as much of a gotcha as this guy is making it out to be, or it doesn't necessarily have to be, because probably most of his investments are, you know, like non-voting shares. Or he's vested in a group of other people, and he's actually not making decisions for this company.
Okay, how about trade goods? That's usually bots don't have any problem selling with that.
Quarterly basis. So it is on a surface level a very good argument, but I don't think that it really stands a strong litmus test whenever you look into it. Now, I do also want to say that while this is a bad argument, I think that there are many other arguments that are very similar to this that are completely fucking legitimate. Whether it's people that have different advisory positions, people that have other types of responsibilities and roles that are coinciding with governmental positions, and also people that are serving on like multiple boards of directors. So yeah, I think that there are many other instances of this being true. However, I don't think that being an angel investor into other companies necessarily implies this.
One full-time job and then just have 11 different part-time investments that you're in, because that's not stealing if you have part-time jobs. Or is it stealing if it's just full-time? It seems a little bit.
I thought about getting back into stocks, but
like that argument
no.
that he's making is clearly not a very good argument, and I
No.
think that the reason for that is because the person who is the CEO here,
not doing it.
This is
I'll invest the old-fashioned way if I ever invest again.
and they clearly meant to say something else. They were just pissed off, and they made an ass of themselves. How's it stealing if you're the investor? What he is implying is that by investing in another company, and
this video sucks.
What? CEOs.
Money shot. Ow, my groin!
Is he dead?
Okay, that was dumb.
Invitation for you to drag out your brushes and 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
When did you dream about going to college?
When I used to fall asleep in high school.
I know who you are. You're the same dumb pilgrim I've been hearing for 20 days.
Like a two modern day.
All of the different church names, but there again, being a Baptist, I believe every church is independent and autonomous and can name themselves whatever they want. All I can do is start a podcast and complain about it. But before we get started, why would we call this podcast the Backwoods Baptist? Well, a number of reasons. Number one, I am a Baptist. I live in the backwoods, and I tend to be pretty, I don't know, country, backwoods, rednecked. I've been called a lot worse by a lot better. But I'm seeking to recapture some of the doctrines and practices of the early Baptists that spread across our continent, that evangelized the settlers.
I listen to
planted
whatever I want on
churches,
this channel,
had
just to let everybody
evangelistic
know.
zeal, and I want to get back to that.
I listen
In
to and
with
play
this
whatever I
podcast,
want.
I want to just talk about practical
I take
things.
suggestions all
It's
the
no
time,
secret I'm
every
not the
time.
smartest guy with
Every
a podcast,
suggestion I've ever
but
had,
I want to be one of the more
I added to my backlog. Every single one. I always add it. Whether or not it gets played, next game after that, I don't know.
practical guys with a podcast, and that's what Backwoods Baptists were. They
Maybe.
were practical and
If you
they
remind me.
applied
If people
common
are
sense,
around and
logic,
remind me.
and open
But if
Bible.
not,
That's
then
what
I'm
we're
not.
seeking
I'm
to do
probably
here.
gonna
So
forget about it.
you too might be a Backwoods Baptist if you've ever had someone's coon dog scratching on your door wanting in during a church service, only to find that one of the members said, "That's my blue tick. He ran away a couple days ago, and he's just couldn't make it home, but he made it to church." So they went out, put him in the dog box, and reconvened on service. True story. If that's your church or one similar to it, you too probably a Backwoods Baptist. So let's talk about church names. What's the big deal with church names? Why is that a problem? And the reason I think it's a problem is because the churches today just seem to pick some of the craziest names you have ever heard in your life. I cease to be amazed at all of the different types of church names that float around out there today. And I've made this list a few times myself. I've actually written a few articles over the years for the bulletin and different newsletters that we've put out. But what I keep coming back to.
Oh, you know what? I gotta figure out what game I'm playing next. Hold on a second, because as soon as I land, I'm shutting off the stream. In fact, I could shut off the stream right now, and it would be perfectly acceptable. But first, let's find out what game I'm playing next. I could be playing WoW again, in which case I would just keep playing. Because I said what, 2 quests or 1 level, 1 quest or 2 levels, whatever. So let's find out here. Acceptable. Anyway.
Is just, it's almost like everybody is trying to be so original, so nuanced. They all sound the same. And I found an article online by a guy that probably wrote way better than I did, Shane Morris. Shane Morris wrote at the Federalist. And this was back in 2017. So my stars, this is not even relevant anymore. This is 6 years old. This is so outdated. We probably shouldn't even be looking at this. But he said the 9 worst kinds, or the 9 worst kinds of hilarious, trendy church names. And I don't want to read you the whole article, but I want to give you his 9 categories of worst church names. Number 1 is just random words. City. Now, I guess you would put church at the end of this, or maybe not. Maybe people just know that you're a church. City, City Hope, Cornerstone, Create Church, Destiny City Church, Dream City Church, Intersect Church, Elevate Church, Elevate Life Church, Life Bridge Church, The Compass Church, Reality Church, and Rise. I know a bunch of those churches right here in our area that have those same names in my little slice of America. He also goes on to list Red Door, The Branch, The Harbor, The House, The Journey, The Orchard, The Painted Door, and The River. Any of those right here in my area as well. Then he said second category was the grocery store romance novel. These got me, but there are a couple of these around here. Burning Hearts Church, The Door of Hope, Epiphany Station, Liberating Spirit, Mercy Road, New Horizons, Passion, Second Chance Church, Shepherd of the Prairie, The Nest of Love, The Refuge, and the word of flame. I actually
All right.
have at least 3 of those that I can think of off the top of my head, just here nearby within an easy drive.
I'm gonna end the stream. I should have really ended it before I even, like, I knew I wasn't gonna do a fucking thing after I took off on that flight path. I should have ended the stream then. But I will be right back, switching games, for those that are watching. I'd say toodaloo, but I'm coming back, so. Actually, no, I'm not coming back, because I have a thing I need to do. IRL. So give me like 20 minutes and I'll